Go ahead and get Shedeur Sanders. Okay, because and I'm talking to the Dolphin coach, head, whoever's over the Dolphins, okay, whoever make those decisions. Tour, whatever his name is, because yes, I watched the Dolphin game today. Okay, and I normally don't watch football, but I sat down, I was being a good whatever, and watched the Dolphin game, and I'm sitting here like, why we don't just get Shedeur? Help me out. I don't know football like that, but what I'm looking at Tour Tanger to our quarterback, okay? Because I'm a rookie.
Dolphins fans aren't just whispering Shedeur Sanders' name. They're chanting it like it's gospel, like he's the only life raft left on a sinking luxury cruise. The noise is deafening. Chants so wild they make seagulls at a fish market sound like background hum. The panic, off the charts. But why are Miami fans so quick to throw their own quarterback overboard just to crown Shedeur as their king? Oh, the drama runs deep. Let's be real, Dolphins fans have never been the patient type. This is Miami, a city where iguanas literally fall out of the sky when it gets too cold. Subtlety has never been part of the culture. But even for Miami standards, what's going down right now looks less like a quarterback debate and more like a full-blown fan mutiny. Tua Tagovailoa might as well be standing at baggage claim with a cardboard sign that says, "We'll play for snacks," because to these fans, he's yesterday's sushi, cold, forgotten, and unappetizing. The message from the fan base is crystal clear. One name matters, and they're screaming it from the beaches to the clubs: Shedeur. And here's the kicker. This obsession isn't even about building a dynasty or planning for the future. No.
Fans are ready for a change under center after a dreadful start. They want Shedeur Sanders traded to the Dolphins. Should Miami make a new move, Ocho?
It's only week one, huh? It's no time to hit the panic button.
Man, the fans don't care about the week 1, week 2, week 10.
Hold on. Wait a minute.
This is about pure, raw desperation. Miami fans are acting like Shedeur is the lone superhero who can rescue them from decades of tropical heartbreak. Forget the track star receivers. Forget the so-called offensive genius on the sidelines. Forget the explosive playbook. None of it matters. To this city, Sanders is the only cure for the pain. None of the stats, excuses, or highlight reels matter anymore. In Miami's eyes, Shedeur is the missing piece. And by missing piece, I mean the golden idol they're ready to haul onto the field while burning every memory of Tua in the process. The chants aren't just echoing inside Hard Rock Stadium. Oh no, this has turned into full-blown citywide hysteria. Bars up and down Ocean Drive are ditching margaritas for Shedeur shots. Radio hosts are talking like Sanders already got fitted for a Dolphins uniform.
I just want to see Shedeur Sanders win so bad, bro.
I'm the Miami
I want to see
Dolphins,
him win, bro.
If I'm the Miami Dolphins.
You go get Shedeur?
No, I'm not doing anything. I'm just
chilling.
Just watch. We know Tua. I know that God for Tua hasn't been able to stay healthy. I got the weapons. Now, if I trade him for a 5th rounder, 6th rounder, what if Tua don't get hurt? I got a great backup. And then someone to teach him. There's a lot of places, bro. I'm just sitting back and watching a terrible franchise continue to be terrible.
And the Photoshop fan club, they've practically turned into a workforce, churning out image after image of Shedeur in teal and orange like it's a 9-to-5 job. At this point, Sanders might actually have more digital jerseys than real ones. What's wild is how fast that loyalty flipped. Just last season, Dolphins fans treated Tua like family, like that long-lost cousin you'd fight for in court. Every negative stat thrown his way was met with Miami fans shouting back about completion percentages and his chemistry with Tyreek Hill. They defended him with everything they had. But now, that same crowd is ready to toss him into Biscayne Bay with no life vest if it means Shedeur shows up tomorrow. Dolphins Nation is done with the Tua experiment, and they're not even pretending otherwise. To them,
do you think y'all should go after Shedeur Sanders or a strong-arm quarterback in Joe Milton while y'all have Tyreek Hill? If not, who would you go for currently in the draft? Well, the first part of that question is if you made a trade for a quarterback in season. I do not forecast that because if the Miami Dolphins needed a quarterback and they went to go trade for one,
Tagovailoa has become that busted phone charger. You know, the one that only works if you bend it at the perfect 90-degree angle. Technically, it still functions, but the frustration builds until you're ready to snap it in half and order a brand new one. And in Miami's mind, that brand new one is spelled Shadur. Shedeur has become that shiny, flawless charger still sealed in the Amazon box. Never tested, never plugged in, but hyped up like it's going to solve every problem in your life. Dolphins fans are so convinced he's the answer that it's almost comical. And let's be clear, this isn't some polite wish list. No, Miami fans are demanding him like spoiled kids who just got told Christmas was canceled. It's not, maybe Shedeur could fit in a few years. Nope, it's, bring him here now.
Sanders actually now be traded by the Browns.
Like, my job here isn't to prove people wrong. Like, I prove myself right.
With the sudden retirement of Derek Carr, it certainly looks that way. The Browns have too many quarterbacks on their roster. The Saints, not enough. And the Saints quarterback room looks like a boy band. Plenty of experts during the draft said the Saints should have taken Shedeur.
The Saints would be insane not to draft him. I'm serious.
And while some Saints fans are mad that they didn't, they may just get their...
Throw him in the lineup tomorrow and erase decades of heartbreak overnight. Logistics, draft rights, college contracts, to them, those are just boring details. 1 week of shaky quarterback play, and suddenly, Dolphins Nation has elevated Shedeur into some mythical fusion of Dan Marino, Tom Brady, and Aquaman, all rolled into one superhero package. In their fantasy, he's not just the quarterback they want, he's the quarterback they deserve. Forget development, forget the rookie growing pains. In Miami's dreamland, Shedeur shows up on Sunday, casually tosses for 400 yards, launches the Dolphins straight into Super Bowl contention, and still manages to autograph beach towels for fans on his way out of the stadium. But here's the kicker. It's not even just about football wins anymore. Shedeur Mania has turned into a full-blown lifestyle choice. He's the shiny new obsession they believe can erase the soul-crushing identity of being a Dolphins fan. Deep down, they know the pain. They've lived through hope dangled in front of their eyes, only to watch it burst into flames in spectacular fashion.
Yeah, Dolphin, I don't know. I think I need to watch another team. I'm trying to be hometown, but our quarterback, yeah, can we go on and get Shedeur? Can we get Shedeur? That's all I want to know. How does this work? Because at this point, what I saw was a hot mess. But anyway, still support the Dolphins. Hometown, wee. But can we just switch him out for Shedeur? That's what I want to know. Let's switch out Shedeur, Tango for Shedeur.
And now, they're convinced Sanders is the only antidote to decades of tropical heartbreak. Dolphins fans have survived it all, the endless quarterback carousel, the this time it's different false starts, and heartbreak so uniquely Miami, they sting like salt water in an open cut. So now they've crowned Shedeur as the miracle cure, the magic potion that'll erase decades of football therapy sessions in one gulp. Meanwhile, poor Tua could toss 5 touchdowns tomorrow, and fans would still side-eye him like a partner they've already ghosted in their heads. It's not that Tua is terrible, it's that he's not Shedeur, and that's the whole argument. This fan base has locked onto Sanders with tunnel vision so intense, you'd think he was handing out lifetime VIP wristbands to every South Beach nightclub. Even whispers inside the locker room have shifted. You can practically picture Dolphins players scrolling through their phones, spotting endless memes of Shedeur in teal and orange, thinking, seriously? We're not even done with this season yet. It's like your office announcing your replacement while you're still at your desk, coffee in hand, pretending the Wi-Fi is working. And the comedy here? Miami fans don't do balanced. They're an emotional roller coaster permanently stuck on turbo mode. 1 week it's Tua is our forever guy. The next it's dump him. Get Shedeur here yesterday. There's no middle ground. It's either confetti parades down Biscayne Boulevard or dumpster fires in the parking lot. Nothing in between.
Use a little pizzazz. Y'all can use a little, you know what I'm saying? Something different, something special in y'all market. Don't get me wrong, we love Tyreek. Tyreek definitely, Tyreek is Tyreek, but I think Shedeur going to Miami, boy, that would really spice up something down there. And like I said, I'm gonna be real too. Yeah, y'all, shit, boy, y'all ain't getting no. I knew that then. I could have told y'all that 2 seasons ago when he hit his head and his finger started. Y'all knew it then. And then like 2 games later, they gave the boy a $200 and some million contract, and I just didn't understand that at all.
The media? Oh, they're feasting on this chaos like it's free Costco samples on a Saturday afternoon. Every tiny whisper about Shedeur's potential is treated like prophecy. Every college highlight is dissected frame by frame like it's the Zapruder film, used as proof that he's already better than half the quarterbacks in the NFL. The hype train has gone so nuclear, it feels like Dolphins fans might secretly be running the entire internet just to keep the Sanders obsession alive. But here's the wild part. Shedeur hasn't even stepped foot on NFL turf yet. He's still in the theoretical stage, the promise phase, the shiny unopened gift box. But Miami, they don't care. The parade routes are already planned, the headlines already drafted, the championship rings already imagined. This isn't about reality, it's about hope, and Dolphins fans cling to hope like it's oxygen. For them, the dream always outshines the present. If Miami football were a reality show, this is the cliffhanger episode. The current star has lost the crowd, and the producers are teasing the grand entrance of the new heartthrob. Fans are basically camped outside chanting Shedeur's name like he's a pop star about to drop a surprise album, while poor Tua is still on stage fumbling his lines to an audience that's already reaching for the remote.
Yo, look, I'm sick and tired of seeing how the Cleveland Browns and the NFL is treating Shedeur Sanders. This right here got me hotter than fish grease. This got me hotter than Texas on an August noon when it's 111 degrees. This right here is bull dookie. I'm trying not to curse. I'm trying to stay kid friendly. But this is crazy. Bro not even running practice squad. They say he not even practicing. He just there.
You almost have to pity the Dolphins front office. Imagine realizing your own fan base is plotting a quarterback coup without even inviting you to the meeting. It's like throwing a wedding only to watch the guests openly root for the bride to marry someone else. No matter how many moves they make, nothing will satisfy this crowd unless Shedeur magically teleports into Hard Rock Stadium already dressed in teal and orange. And the desperation? It's almost poetic. This is a franchise still chasing the ghost of Marino, still starving for relevance, still begging for the next big savior. Shedeur has become their projection of everything they've lacked. Strong arm, flashy swagger, big name energy, endless promise. But here's the catch. None of that guarantees success in the NFL. Yet when has logic ever stopped Miami fans from diving headfirst into the shallow pool of wild optimism? And here we are. Shedeur Sanders mania has officially gone mainstream.
Seems that there's the latest when it comes to Shedeur. Miami is picking up steam, and Shedeur getting extra reps after practice. You know, your girl is looking into it, and Shiloh appealed his fine.
Cleveland Browns are making a huge mistake, and here's why. Shedeur Sanders just put up 2 TDs, 138 yards with scraps for practice reps, and they still haven't buried as QB4. Here are the Browns QBs in this order. No change. If I'm Shedeur, I'm not waiting behind those guys. Demand a trade out of Cleveland. Raiders and the Saints, he could walk in tomorrow and compete for QB1. Instead, the Browns just want him to sit. We've got a QB who's ready.
What started as whispers has exploded into full-blown Miami madness, and the demand isn't slowing down one bit. They don't just want him, they want him now. As far as Dolphins fans are concerned, the Tua era is finished, whether the franchise admits it or not, because this isn't just about football anymore. This is about identity. This fan base is so starved for a hero that they've already etched Shedeur's name into the Miami sand, praying the tide doesn't wash it away before reality crashes in. And let's be real, when reality finally shows up, it'll be a whole lot messier than the fantasy they've built in their heads. Because at this point, Shedeur isn't even a quarterback prospect to them anymore. He's a legend, a myth, a full-on South Beach revolution. Fans talk about him like he's a superhero, rising straight out of Biscayne Bay, dripping in teal and orange armor, ready to save the city from years of playoff collapses and endless debates about concussions. The way Dolphins fans spin it, Shedeur isn't going to throw touchdown passes. He's going to part the Atlantic Ocean itself, lead the team across on dry land, and deliver Miami into the Super Bowl promised land. Meanwhile, poor Tua could walk into Hard Rock Stadium tomorrow, light it up with 6 touchdown passes, and the crowd would still be glancing at their watches, muttering, "Cool." But when's Shedeur showing up? The way Dolphins fans are treating this Shedeur obsession is brutal. Tua has become the forgotten side dish at Thanksgiving dinner. Nobody's reaching for it. Nobody even acknowledges it's on the table. All anyone cares about is the main course they think is coming, Sanders. And Miami fans aren't being quiet about it either. Forget whispers in back rooms or cryptic message board posts.
I think it's unfair for me to comment in I guess maybe on behalf of the industry. All I can say is this, the time that we spent with Shedeur, and what he's done throughout his college career is impressive. He's an impressive young man. He's a really good quarterback. Sometimes, fit comes into play. And I'd also say this, there are 4 more rounds of the draft. And then maybe lastly, it's less about where you get picked and what you do after you get picked. That's really the most important thing. Getting to know him over the course of the spring,
these people are practically on South Beach with megaphones screaming to the heavens, "Out with Tua, in with Shedeur." This isn't fandom anymore. It's straight up quarterback anarchy. And the comedy? They've turned Shedeur into a miracle cure for problems he hasn't even been asked to touch. Offensive line falling apart? Shedeur will fix it. Defense giving up big plays? Shedeur will magically inspire interceptions with his aura. Special teams botching punts? Don't worry. Shedeur will punt, chase down the returner, and score the touchdown himself. In their heads, he's not just a quarterback. He's a one-man Marvel crossover event. And because this is Miami, of course the obsession has to turn into a spectacle. Don't be shocked if the next Dolphins home game features fans waving giant Shedeur cutouts, serenading his name like he's already in uniform. Someone's probably already working on a Sanders to South Beach billboard as we speak, and you can bet at least one influencer is prepping a Shedeur merch drop. Glittery sunglasses, palm tree logos, the whole flashy Miami starter pack, before he even declares for the draft. What makes all this even funnier? Miami's history with quarterbacks. This isn't their first rodeo. It's been carousel after carousel, broken promise after broken promise, and yet here we are again. Fans are declaring Shedeur as the one, the fairy tale ending to decades of heartbreak. But that's the exact same story they told last time, and the time before that, and the time before that. At this point, Miami's quarterback expectations have turned into a full-blown soap opera, complete with fiery romances, grand love confessions, dramatic breakups, and rebound after rebound with the next perfect fit. Tua?
Browns is the Browns. This is the most hype they've ever had. It's the Browns.
Exactly.
So, he got drafted to the wrong team. That Sanders name, I'm telling you right now, there's only one person that understands business, and he will trade his quarterback.
He's just the latest ex-boyfriend being written out of the script while fans swoon over their new crush. And the way these fans talk, you'd think the Dolphins front office could swap quarterbacks like ordering an Uber. Tap a button, new QB arrives at the curb in teal and orange. Draft rules, salary caps, NFL contracts. Please, none of that exists in the Miami imagination. In their fantasy world, Shedeur could be suiting up next week if the team just cared enough to make the call. Reality might be complicated, but for Dolphins fans, dreams are eternal. And honestly, there's something almost poetic about it. They've stopped watching football like a sport and started writing fan fiction, casting Shedeur Sanders as the golden savior who finally rescues Miami from decades of heartbreak and delivers them into the happily ever after they've been chasing for years. And that's where this whole saga reaches peak Miami madness. Shedeur Sanders hasn't even declared, hasn't touched a single snap in the NFL, and yet the city has already built him up into some larger-than-life savior. It's almost tragic comedy. Fans have convinced themselves that one rookie quarterback can undo decades of bad drafts, shaky coaching, and playoff heartbreaks that feel older than half the fan base. Tua could light up the scoreboard, lead the Dolphins to a playoff berth, and still, the crowd would shrug like, cool, but when's Shedeur getting here? That's the level of obsession we're talking about. Miami doesn't just want a quarterback, they want a messiah in cleats, someone to carry the weight of all their disappointment and turn it into glory overnight. And here's the truth. Maybe Shedeur really is special. Maybe he's the kind of quarterback who could change everything. Or maybe he's just the latest name in Miami's never-ending quarterback soap opera. But one thing's for sure, the hype train has left the station, and it's not slowing down until Sanders is either hoisting a Lombardi or proving that even Miami's wildest dreams still crash into reality. So what do you think? Is Shedeur really the chosen one for Miami, or just the next name in their long list of almosts? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. See you on the next one.